Why do most men waste their lives chasing illusions about women? They chase the illusions of women, they chase the illusions of success, and they chase the illusions of happiness. Let's uncover the raw truth that nobody dares tell you. We're going live.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
What's going on, guys? Smash that like button. Smashing like is free, you know. It is Mating Monday, and it is story time with Paul and Pook, baby. We are on our second to the last episode of the Book of Pook series today. And for those new to the channel, I am Paul Bauer, and I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about leveling up and getting better with women is it tends to make us better in all areas of our lives. It's kind of weird that way. But we're going to be reading through Pook's chapter on aphorisms, which is just a fancy word meaning pithy observations that contain a general truth. For example, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a very common aphorism. So Pook's chapter contains an absolute boatload of these aphorisms or maxims or whatever you want to call them. And there's got to be like 100 of these things. Okay. And you might be familiar with some of these because other guys in the red pill space have been quoting these for years, right? You may have seen them in Rollo Tomasi's Rational Male books, okay? Because even Rollo quotes Pook sometimes. You've definitely seen them in the Player's Handbook, which Rollo has 49 maxims of game in there. And like, I know at least a couple, right, come from Pook. So this is the Book of Pook series. And if you don't know what the Book of Pook is, this is the Book of Pook right here. It's a compilation of forum posts from the old SoSuave.com forums, which was, you know, the pickup forums on the internet where guys were swapping notes about how to get women in bed. And Pook was writing some really profound posts in the forum back at the turn of the century, right around 2000. He was writing a whole bunch of things, and someone decided to take all of his forum posts and compile them into the Book of Pook. And you can't find this on Audible. All right, if you're an audiobook listener, go check out my friend Jack Napier's YouTube channel. Become a member of his channel, and he'll give you the audiobook version of the Book of Pook for free that he narrated himself, and he did a very good job with it. But otherwise, you can read the Book of Pook for free if you go to bookofpook.com. And then if you want the paperback, you can go on Amazon. And now the original Book of Pook is now Book of Pook Volume 1, and they've taken even more of his old posts and compiled them into Book of Pook Volume 2 and Volume 3, which I haven't read yet, but this is my third pass of this book, and it is really good. If you are going to even claim to be a red pill guy, you have to read this book, okay? It's mandatory reading. Before we get into the chapter on aphorisms, which is just going to be fun today. I mean, they're each one's really short, so we're going to just read them and just sort of talk about how true they are or whatever, or maybe that's not true at all, or how, you know, is he just messing around, right? But before we get into all that stuff, do be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. All right. I like interacting with you guys. Smashing that like button is free. Okay. If you are a cheap son of a gun, at least you can do is smash that like button. All right. But do subscribe. I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And please sound off. If you guys are watching live right now, don't just lurk. All right. Sound off in the live chat. I like hearing from you guys. And please support the show by sending a super chat. Some of you guys are out there sending $500 super chats to these random chicks on the internet. I was one time on a live stream with Sarah Dawn Moore. I don't know if you guys know her. She's got a much bigger channel than me. And she, on her very first live stream, she had me on. And during that live stream, some dude sent her a $600 super chat. And then one other dude sent her 5 separate $100 super chats just for being you, Sarah, right? I'm not asking for that. But if you send a $10 super chat or a $20 super chat, I do have some videos of hot chicks to sort of make up for the fact that I'm not a hot chick. I get it. Y'all are throwing money at these hot chicks thinking that they're going to sleep with you. They're not going to sleep with you. But you get the point. All right. Let's get into some of these aphorisms. Okay. We're basically just going to wing it today. I'm going to read these to you and we're going to talk about some of these things and just have fun with it. Okay. It's a very relaxing day. We're back from a holiday weekend and no one really wants to work anyway today. Right. So the first one we have here is it all comes down to this choice: live your dreams or live other people's dreams. Have you ever wondered, are you living your own dream right now? Have you ever thought about that? Or are you living someone else's dream? Typically, if you are working for someone else, right? If you are employed and you're not an entrepreneur and you don't own your own business, you're at the very least helping your boss live his dreams of running his own business, right? But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes they pay you really well and it gives you a good work-life balance and you're able to live your dreams. But what about in your relationship? Are you living your dreams or are you basically existing and supporting your wife, right? What are you doing? Are you living your dreams or are you living your wife's dreams? Think about that. That's something to think about. Are you just a supporting character in the movie that is your life, or are you the main character? Think about that for a minute. The next one we have here is the bitterness of a poor quality woman is remembered far longer than the sweetness of how easy it was to get her. Keep your standards up. Aim high. The bitterness of a poor quality woman is remembered far longer than the sweetness of how easy it was to get her. Man, think about that one for a minute. How many relationships have you been in that didn't work out well and everything clicked? Like everything was somewhat easy with her, right? But it was just a terrible relationship in some form or another, right? Or maybe you really settled with this chick and you just never really liked her, but you didn't want to be on the dating circuit, so you just settled with the first chick that was nice to you. You almost remember that, the bitterness of that, right? We tend to have a negativity bias, don't we? So we like to focus on the negative crap like that. Next one here is the differences between successful people and unsuccessful people is this: the former invests his time while the latter spends his time. Most young people don't realize that they are at a golden moment to plant seeds of talent to harvest throughout their lives. Some think when you get older, it gets harder. That's only if you spend rather than invest. If you invest your time, life keeps getting easier and more fun. Ooh, that's something to think about. Are you investing your time or spending your time? A lot of people, this is one thing I learned from Bob Proctor. He was saying that rich people don't trade time for money. They trade value for money, right? But poor people trade time for money. That's why you're working a 9-to-5 job. You're trading your time. Like we all get the same amount of time. We all get 24 hours in a day, right? Some of us live longer lives than others, but we all get the same 24 hours in a day. And if you're spending 17 of those 24 hours working, you're trading your time for money. When more successful people trade value for money, right? There's a little bit of a difference there. Some food for thought. Are you trading your time for money or are you investing your time? Right? Like an example of this is I have 2 books out. I invested a lot of time to write those books, right? But now I can just sell them in perpetuity and I've created a value that I can just sell. Now that one-time time investment, I can sell forever now. You understand? Okay. The more divided a man is between his dream and self, the more he will point to how nice he is, how intellectual he is, and unceasingly inform us on how rotten the world is. The next one is philosophy is the refuge for those who refuse to be flesh and blood. Philosophy is the refuge for those who refuse to be flesh and blood. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Let me know in the chat. What comes to mind when I say that one? Philosophy is the refuge for those who refuse to be flesh and blood. Is that like where people spend all day mentally masturbating online and they're not actually living life? Like, right? Guys are speaking in the abstract about women on Twitter, but they're not actually going out and talking to women. Is that I think that's what comes to mind for me anyway. Who are the truly unhappy males? It is those who live for the women's desire. These include the nice guys, the players, and anyone who dresses, talks, and even puts their profession at what women want. These guys have no sense of self when a woman stands before them. Ooh. Yeah, making it all about this is why when I'm working with guys, right? Guys come to me, we're trying to fix their dead bedroom situation, and I give them tasks to do, right? And often the focus is, okay, if I do this, then she's going to do this. She's going to respond this way. It's like, don't worry about what she's going to respond to. Okay. Do it for you. You're doing this stuff to fix you. You're not doing this stuff to fix her. Right. That's so you can't make her your focus on all the stuff that you're doing. Okay. Let's see here. That was the difference. The divided man. Philosophy is the refuge. Okay. Who are the truly unhappy males? Oh, we did that one already. Don wanting works best when you don't think about it too much. I love this. This Don wanting works best when you don't think about it too much. That one's perfectly for the guys that overanalyze stuff. You know, they sit there and think, did I say this right? Did I put my body posture right? Was my body language right? Did she like me or not? Like, they're just overthinking stuff. You know, it's like you know the material. This is why I tell guys, you know, to read these books 10 to 15 times, right? I definitely say that about my book. Not this one. This one. I say read this book 10 to 15 times, right? But what I learned that from Coach Corey Wayne. Coach Corey Wayne says read his book, How to Be a 3% Man, 10 to 15 times, right? Well, the thing is, when you do that, it seeps into your subconscious. It seeps into your paradigm. You start naturally acting in the way of a 3% man just by listening to his book on repeat, you know? But you got to go out in the world and practice it. You can't just read it 10, 15 times sitting in your apartment. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go out and sort of apply this stuff, but naturally over time those thoughts about the book change your actions will change your results in life, right? And you don't even have to overly think about it too much. Unlimited opportunities with women are just as frustrating as no opportunities. The nice guy and the lady killer will end up with the same frustration. The only cure is to create your own world, your own standards, your own life, and bring women into your world rather than being sucked into their world. You know, a great way of doing this is by creating your list of wants and don't wants, which I talked about it last week on the podcast, but in my first book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, on page 183, if you have the paperback or the hardcover, I have the contenders list. Okay. If you follow the contenders list and make it the law, right? This is the law. The list is the law. Okay. Now, this is a personal list, and I just created this one in the book as an example. That's not, you know, you don't have to copy what's in the list of Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, but make the list of your wants, okay? And then highlight the most important ones that are, you know, that are deal breakers for you, okay? That will weed out women that just aren't a good fit, okay? You won't be worried about women that are coming into your life that don't belong there. You won't tolerate that stuff, right? You won't get into a committed relationship with a woman that hasn't earned it, okay? So that those yellow highlighted items, if a woman doesn't have those items, she's not a contender for a long-term relationship. She could be a plate. She could be a plate, but she can't be a contender for a long-term relationship. But most guys don't have a list. They don't even know exactly what they want, and they just take the first girl that touches their dick. You know what I mean? All right. When you see a metrosexual, call him princess. That is the correct name for such creatures. Men and women fail in their relationships usually because they think they ought to act in some type of way to gain the other person's favor. It never works. And even if it did work, you still aren't compatible. It shows that the person is scared of their own world or lack of one. So this is a big problem that guys do, right? It says men and women fail in their relationships because they think they ought to act in some type of way to gain the other person's favor. Men do this a lot. Nice guys do this a lot. Nice guys are trying to make their wives happy all the time, right? Happy wife, happy life. It doesn't work. The reason why is you're basically falling into your wife's frame. You're dancing around her, walking on eggshells, trying to keep her happy all the time. You're operating in her frame. She loses respect for you. Doesn't work, right? So you can't do that. You got to focus on, be your own mental point of origin, focus on your purpose, and set the tone and lead in your relationship. And she either follows your lead or she doesn't, right? But you should be sort of testing for that early on when you're out in the dating circuit, right? Testing her interest, testing her ability to follow your lead. If she can't do those things, hit the bricks, Susan. All right. The fulfillment of your own sexuality is nothing less than your battle for existence. Consistency is the most important thing to success in anything. Some say, poo-poo, I only asked out one girl this week. I come to this board and I hear a guy asking out 100 chicks. Stop it. It is more important to make it a habit. Any fool can go talk to 100 chicks in a week, such as at a large gathering or something, but very few can keep it consistent. Even if you ask out one girl a week, that is 52 girls in a year. That is more girls asked out in a year than most guys ask out in a lifetime. The consistency is all, right? That's the biggest thing, man, especially you guys that are out there still dating, spinning plates, and you're struggling right now. Make this stuff a habit. Make it something that you do on a daily basis, right? Or even if it's just a weekly basis, but something that's attainable for you. But be intentional about it. Set the intention. I'm going to ask out one girl a week, right? If you at least do that, cross that off your list, you're going to probably do better than most guys out there because you're acting with intention, There is no method except yourself. That's another maxim here. Let's take a quick break and mention that I am on social media, guys. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Get on the email list if you haven't gotten on it already, and get my ebook, She's Made You Weak. It explains the betatization process, which is a subconscious process that women naturally don't even know that they're doing. It's subconscious, but it's part of their evolutionary psychology. And what they do is they try to make you more of a nurturing provider type guy to care for her and her children. But that whole process, that whole dynamic of her making you more soft makes you weaker. And that weakness causes her to lose attraction, right? She starts emasculating you. She starts talking smack to you all the time. She completely disrespects you. And now she's disgusted by you because she's lost all attraction because you're such a weak man in her eyes now. And then she doesn't even know why. But then she's like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. This is why. Okay. This is why it's so common. And it's the number one cause of a dead bedroom situation. If you want to avoid it, you need to defend against the dark arts. Okay. Get the ebook, go to list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll also send you some free stickers too, right? But if you don't want the stickers, just put don't want stickers in the address field and I won't waste a stamp on you. And then, let's see here. Guys, I have a couple of books out myself. We are talking about the Book of Pook series, but I do have 2 books out. I already mentioned one already, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. That is a handbook for life. It not only will teach you the psychology of attraction, it not only will help you maintain long-term relationships, but it'll help you with your finances. It'll help you get out of debt. It'll help you pick a better career, all that kind of stuff. Okay. It's a handbook for life. Let me play a commercial for that. And then we'll get back to the Book of Pook.
Ever feel like life is slipping by while you're stuck in the same old routine? You see others thriving, great relationships, successful careers, real freedom, and you wonder, what am I missing? Deep down, you know you're capable of more. but something's holding you back. Whether it's your mindset, habits, or relationships, you're stuck in a cycle that's hard to break. What if the change you need isn't about working harder, but working smarter? Reprogramming your mindset, mastering key habits, and building success in every area of life. Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 is your guide to unlocking the life you've always wanted. Inside, you'll find practical, proven steps to upgrade your mindset, strengthen your relationships, and achieve financial freedom. This isn't just another book. It's your roadmap to personal growth and success. Whether you're looking to improve your career, relationships, or mindset, this book will help you take control of your future. Start your transformation today. Grab your copy of Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 and take the first step toward a life filled with purpose and success. Don't wait. Your future is waiting.
Indeed. Let's see here. Dondra's in the house. He says, let's fucking go. Indeed. Omega's in the house. Morning, folks and fellow beer club legends. And let's see here. Nurse Chick's in the house. She says, good morning, gentlemen. I'm going to give her this.
So naughty.
And this one never plays. I don't know why. Anyway, and then JS is in the house. What's up? What's up, man? And then Dondra says, Corey Wayne for the win. Indeed. Corey Wayne for the win. All right. Next one here we have is women occupy a place in thought and action, which is unique and essential to man and the world. Why on earth would they reject the precious gifts nature has given them to imitate models of male domination? The genius of every woman is to love, to protect and nourish the lives entrusted to her, and to support the full development of life in others. Oh, I see. So this is why on earth would they reject the precious gifts nature has given them to imitate models of male domination? Basically, that's a dig at feminism, right? Like, why are women trying to be the men that they want to marry? Ignoring the truth of sexuality is ignoring the truth of life. Break sexuality cycle and so end up in a life of utter collapse. Man, this is like guys in the MGTOW space, right? That or the black pill space that have completely given up on women, right? They're trying to ignore their own sexuality, and they're like, I'm just here to find my peace, bro. But they're really living a life of, misery, right? And then they have to, they try to delude themselves by going into people's comments on YouTube and TikTok, and they're like, they have to try to tell everybody how happy they are being single. I'm just happy being single. I'm happy being single. If you were really happy being single, you wouldn't be in the comments trying to convince everybody, bro, right? You're trying to deny sexuality. It's just like, that's your human nature. Dreams are more powerful than facts. Imagination is stronger than knowledge. The myth more powerful than history, and passion will always go further than experience. The final word to the book of science is that the world can be made to whatever we want. The real world is not outside you, but within, which gives us all the power to begin the world over again. Do you guys think that Pook was a law of attraction guy? You think that's totally like a law of attraction type belief. Mediocrities avoid risk the way alcoholics avoid cure. Okay. Man, there's so many guys out there that will not take any kind of risks in life, right? They like to play it safe. Anything that's somewhat risky at all, they refuse to do it. And then they just stay where they're at, don't they? Most people live in a web of narcissism, and they have different strategies to achieve it, which people mistake for different lives. From the intellectual who reads solely to stroke his ego to orgasmic revelation, to the player who sticks his pride in so many chicks, to girls who pop themselves with cherry-like husbands and kids just to make the neighbors jealous, the strategies differ. The narcissism is the same. Ladies, if you have only 1 hour left to live, spend it with the nice guy. That hour will seem like an eternity. There you go. Shout out to the ladies out there. Manners for men. Direction of masculine strength, not the denial of it. Okay. The difference between mistakes and experience is this. Mistakes are made when one has not achieved his desires, whereas experience is made when the desires are achieved. If you still are making mistakes, keep making them. And at some point, all those mistakes will morph into experience. All right. I mean, geez, that's kind of like I've been mentioning Thomas Edison and the light bulb a lot in the last few episodes, but that's basically right. He just kept he had 10,000 ways that failed at making a light bulb, and he didn't quit at that. He just kept trying. And then at the end, when he finally got a working light bulb, he's like, yeah, I had 10,000 ways I learned not to do it. Right. That was experience. Show me an unsuccessful person in life, and I will show you a person who thinks they are perfect. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a big problem. So one of the things that I tell guys that call me, right? They go to call.fixedadbedrooms.com. They book a call with me, and I'll tell them straight up, I can only work with guys that have certain 4 qualities. One of those qualities is that you have to be coachable. You have to be coachable, right? If you come to the call thinking you know everything already, thinking you've tried everything already, then you're not going to be coachable. Right? When I tell you to do something, you'll be like, that won't work. And then you won't even try it. Right? You think you're perfect already. Now you got to empty your cup a little bit. You can't fill a cup that's already full. So empty that cup. Okay. Let's fill up some cup with new experiences, and let's try some new things. Some things that, even if it's counterintuitive and you don't think it's going to work, try it out. Let's try it. Right? Oh my God. Brother Ed sent a $5 super chat. He is a beer club brother too. So that means he automatically gets bumped up to the next super chat video, which is the $10 super chat video. He said, I think he means beer club champs, not beat club, but you know, typos and all that. Okay. He's going to get the $10 super chat video. Here we go.
Thank you for the super chats. Movies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, viewers, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
Thank you for that, Ed. Now we are demonetized. Guys, send more super chats. Every time I play that video, YouTube restricts the monetization for my videos. So please make it worth my while. Plan perfection. Pa! Give me the heartaches and shocks that flesh is heir to. No more will I bear lady patience digging her spurs into me to slow down and watch myself. This perfection is an Athena child grown directly from your head. Every third thought shall be my grave. I don't know what he even means by that. Older women are easiest to have casual affairs with. Youth is a wizard's staff, and without it, she can cast no spells. So basically, you guys that are banging cougars out there, one can argue that you're just going for the low-hanging fruit. They're not even that hard to get. But I'll tell you what, if you want to get some experience, you might as well do it. You might as well do it. And then once you get, relatively good at that and you get it out of your system, you can start going for a little bit more challenging goals, You know what I mean? All right. Relationships of the, they're going to come after me. The Cougars are going to come after me for that one. How dare you? I can't believe you. Can't believe you're telling guys to go after women that are under 35, you sick bastard. Their prefrontal cortex or whatever. All right. Relationships of the new man and the new woman are two androgynous beings swapping a phallus. I'll be the man for today, honey. Okay, dear, but I get the phallus Thursday for a meeting at work. That's the modern LGBTQRSTUV relationship, right? Where they're they thems and they're not he she's anymore, because they don't identify as any particular whatever. Hey, we're not supposed to judge anymore. You know what I mean? Let me see they them titties, right? Let Let me see. Damn. Okay. Anyway, older women are easiest to have. Oh, we saw that one. Relationships. Okay. Faith in the glory of women is a substitute for the lost faith we have in ourselves. The burning honor that men feel duty bound toward women is attaching our drowning selves to a passing raft. What looks like nobility is a way of holding on for dear life. Take away the honor a man feels he owes to the woman, and you leave his life puny and meaningless. Is this? I think that's talking about guys with the Captain Seva 304. I don't think we could say the garden tool word, but man, there's a lot of guys. They see a woman out there struggling, and they're immediately like, I can fix her, I can save her, and then their lives are ruined, and they're basically just drowning, and they're trying to attach themselves to a passing raft. Exchanging self-centeredness for chivalry, selflessness, men gain enormously in self-esteem. The vanity of chivalrous, even those who proclaim utmost humility, outdoes the vanity of the self-centered. Let's see here. What's Omega say? He says, I think my YouTube app is being wacky. Anyways, get the LOA course and go through it more than once. It's helpful. On that note, also be sure to get Paul's second book, because that second book is going to challenge a good amount of your self-limiting beliefs and make you reflect and look deep inside yourself. Yes. You're listening to that, right? Right? Omega, you said you started listening to that this weekend. That's the goal. The goal is to reprogram that paradigm so that you have a more dominant masculine presence. When he's talking about my second book, he's talking about this one, Psychology Paradigm. All right. Reveal a man's perspective on woman and reveal his perspective on life. All right. Men conquer worlds. Women conquer men. Ooh, that's a good one. Men conquer worlds. Women conquer men. Listen very carefully to the words women use when they talk about men, especially among themselves. It is like their conversation is revolving around domestic appliances. He says women in finance are not two, but one. All right. Why do people remain scared their entire lives? Because what you call fear, they call virtue. This applies with women as well as with money. It is virtue being it is virtue being chivalrous. It is fear that is behind that chivalrousness. It is virtue in saving and living cheaply. He says it is fear of investing and living well that is behind the saving and the cheapness. Okay. Why do older women despise beautiful young women? It is because they have the potential to be very rich. Older women never despise young, ugly women or married, beautiful women attached with regular Joe Schmo husbands. I see. Oh, that jealousy. Jealousy's a behatch. All right, this is a long one. I can't believe he calls some of these aphorisms, because, I mean, some of these are just really, it seems like they're more than just simple, pithy statements. You know what I mean? So Omega says, I finished last night. I'm going to leave a review on both Amazon and Audible. Just want to think more on what to say. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. All right. I'm glad you liked it, man. Here, you can get it here, guys, right? The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm. All right. Education used to be attached to sexuality. That to be educated was to be a man. The university used to be mankind's armory against nature. Mathematics, how far, how fast, how long, what shape. Biology, what relationship does this form of nature have with this form? Art, reflecting nature back at itself. History, chronicling nature's path. And law, how to deal with human nature, including philosophy, poetry, etc. The university has turned into an expensive adolescent summer camp. Now, education being desexualized is pure trivia. You bubble in You bubble in circles in a scantron, Regurgitate the book or paraphrase the professor's words back to him in an essay, or memorize phylum, orders, and species of taxonomic nonsense for scientific labs. You procrastinate when studying because you know that it is not knowledge, just trivia. Compare that to your eagerness to learn the information here. Here, there is no trivia. As everyone knows, the knowledge is connected to nature and to life. This sense of decline in education would be corrected if the departments, especially the humanities, stop being trivia, stop being political, and embrace the warrior spirit against nature that the fields originated with. Yeah, I agree with that. Basically, our education system isn't an education system at all, right? Especially college. College can be a monumental waste of money and time if what you're going for doesn't, like, if the job you want to get in life, the career you want to get into doesn't require college, it's a complete waste of time. You could get a better education just by having an Audible subscription, right? And listening to books like this. In fact, I have a whole chapter on education in this book that talks about that. You know, how if, let's say you wanted to make 6 figures and you wanted to work in the IT space, right? Which is easily attainable if you work in the IT space. You don't need a college degree to do that, right? You could go out right now, get a book for like 20 to 50 bucks, study for an A+ exam, get another book, study for your Network Plus exam, get another book, study for your Security Plus exam, and then go and spend about $200 or $300 each on certifications. Now you got certifications under your belt. Infinitely, after only spending a few $100, and then you're already going to be in a just as marketable as a guy who spent 4 years in college, right? Now you just need to get that experience, because employers only really care about experience. They don't really care about your degree or your certifications. They care about your experience. So now go find yourself an internship, preferably a paid one if you can find one, but you know, do any kind of internship that you can get to get that experience, because that experience itself is going to be more valuable than any kind of career or any kind of college degree or certification you got. Then go out and start getting real jobs, and now you can start working your way up. Now, anyway. And then if you want to get educated on Roman history and, ancient Greek philosophy, well, just get an Audible subscription for like 10 or 15 bucks a month. All right. Beautiful women and romanticism are like oil and water. They do not mix. Choose one. Beautiful women and romanticism. That's smart. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, we guys we're the lovers, right? We are the ones that are more idealistic when it comes to relationships. Women are more opportunistic. So once you get sort of lovingly detached and sort of accept women don't love the same way as you, well, now we can have a healthy relationship, right? But you gotta get rid of that romanticism and then set the tone and lead in your relationship. And then you can have the beautiful woman, right? It's just not going to be a Disney fairy tale like you thought it was. Too many people think it is AFC, or average frustrated chump, to fall in love. If you fall in love, cherish it. I would give up years of countless stupid chicks just to feel that way about a girl again. Yeah. You know what though? The problem with that, the problem with falling head over heels in love like you used to, is that you get these love goggles on. You know what I mean? You get these love goggles on, and then you start operating from emotion in your relationship, and you start making bad decisions, and you allow the betaization process to take over. You stop realizing what's happening in your relationship. But if you can love her, but you still got to be lovingly detached enough to be able to see what's going on in your relationship and keep your head on a swivel and be able to act a little more strategically, right? That's how you're going to maintain that long-term relationship. If you don't want a long-term relationship, then yeah, by all means, just spin plates and fall in love with all the chicks that you're banging, All right. Remember this saying: you can remove the girl from Louisiana, but you cannot remove Louisiana from the girl. I've heard other versions of that saying. You can bring a foreign woman from South America or Asia into America, but that is like putting good food into an unclean dish. The food eventually spoils. That's a message for you passport bros out there that are like, I'm going to go overseas to find a traditional wife. Okay, go do that. Go find a traditional wife in South America or Asia. Okay, but if you want to keep her that way, if you want to keep her immersed in the culture that made her more traditional, you've got to keep her in that country. You got to move there. Okay, go live in that country and live happily ever after, right? But you bring her back here, she's going to be ruined, absolutely ruined. Hey, Nuke's in the house. What's up, brother? Hello, yes. I would tell you guys to go check out Nuke's channel, but he has no problem getting views. So, hey, Nuke, do me a favor. Tell people to come to my fucking channel. Okay. Let's see here. Many find a woman or women as a substitute for achievement. This is female thinking, that the union means your life is complete. Others think the Don Juan ends as soon as he gets a girl. It doesn't. You must prove your worth every day in life. Childhood is over. When you think you are achieving things because you have a woman or women, you stunt life. Yeah. The work never stops, man. Even if you get into a relationship, the work never stops. We have a burden of performance, unfortunately, as men, right? But that's a big problem, right? A lot of guys get into a relationship, they get complacent, they think that they've reached the finish line, and then they let themselves go. I don't have to try anymore. I already got her, right? And then she thinks the same thing. I don't have to try anymore. I already got him. And then she has no more competition anxiety, and then she starts wearing pajamas to Walmart. That's one of the first things I talk about in the long-term relationship chapter is that there is no finish line, right? The work never stops. You have to always be seducing. Always be seducing your girl forever. All right. And if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to put in that work, then don't get into a long-term relationship. Okay. Simple. Okay. Simple. Or you can just do what everyone else does, right? Get into a long-term relationship, let it run its course until you become she betatizes you, and then find yourself in, 10 or 15 years back on the dating circuit going, what happened? I don't fucking know. Right. Okay. Let's see here. Take a young man who is skinny, shy, isolated, and a dork. Fat girls keep pestering him. Girls set him up with women no one else wants. Yet he dreams of life, of joy, of strength, of new realms beyond this one. Fat and ugly women disappear as if he simply changed clothing. Sun-like, he becomes a world everyone revolves around, as he is now seen as interesting, fun, and muscular. Rather than park his life and watch everyone zoom by or drive a snail's pace for fear of risk, he now lives life in the fast lane. Okay. Boredom is where all evils enter the world, and when a person is bored, he is bored with himself. Interesting people in their daily lives are never bored, as they find everything interesting. What kind of person are you? Are you someone that gets bored easily, or are you someone that finds various things fascinating, so you're never really bored? You always got something going on. I'm trying to teach my son this. My son's always bored. Dad, I'm bored, Dad. I'm like, oh, I got something for you to do. Oh, you're bored? Oh, I got something to do. You know what sounds interesting? Cleaning up the dog shit in the backyard. Oh, just kidding, Dad. Just kidding. I got all of a sudden I've got something to do now. Of course you do. Women who bark at a gentleman will lick the boot of an asshole. Oh, women who bark at a gentleman will lick the boot of an asshole. Well, that comes to genuine desire, doesn't it? All right. Hold on one second here. I have to sneeze. I can feel it. I can feel it coming on. There it is. All right, guys. Join the beer club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's a good group of dudes. We actually crossed 50 members now. We now have 51 members. Fucking exciting. Let's get us to 60. 60 members. Let's do it. 60 members in December. Do you think we could do it? Let me play a commercial for that, and we'll get back to the topic. Here's a harsh truth that everybody gets upset about online when I say it. They get upset because of their ego investment into the fairy tale idea of love and partnership. They get upset because of their ego investment into the idea that their woman is their best friend, their confidant, and they think that love will conquer all, and that their woman will be there through thick and thin. The truth is that as a man, your woman is hardwired biologically and psychologically to want you to be her rock. It doesn't work the other way around. Women do not care about your struggles as a man. They may think they care. They may even want to care. But her evolutionary DNA will not let her care. If you bring her your problems, she will lose attraction for you over time, and she will leave. Now, whenever I talk about this, people lose their minds and start talking about men unaliving themselves. The faster that men learn that women don't care about our struggles, the faster we'll save the lives of men. Men off themselves because of their own ego investments in the Disney fairy tale lie. And when that fairy tale goes up in flames, they get zeroed out and they end things. Men do need a proper outlet for dealing with their problems, but going to their woman isn't the answer. Men need a tribe. They need a brotherhood. That's why I created my beer club. It's a monthly virtual hangout for men only. It's a place where men can be men. It's a place where men can talk about guy stuff without having to worry about offending women. It's a place where they can go without having to worry about being called toxically masculine. It's a place where they can go to solve their problems. Because men solve problems. Women cause problems, you dig? Visit beer.comeonmanpod.com. That's beer.comeonmanpod.com to sign up.
Indeed. And then guys, if you are having problems in your relationship right now, the bedroom's gone cold, or when you do get intimate with her, she just lays there like a starfish, more out of obligation than anything, and you're sort of at your wit's end. And you're just like, what the hell happened? Like, everything used to be hot and heavy in the relationship. Let's talk about it, okay? Book a free call with me, call.fixdeadbedrooms.com. I will give you massive clarity on what's probably going on in your relationship. And if I can help you, I'll show you what that looks like. And if I can't, I'll at least point you in the right direction. All right. All right. This one's really good. This next one's good. He says, in high school, you thought women would mature and stop liking the jocks or jerks. In college, you thought women would mature and dislike the frat boys, sports guys, and start to be attracted to nice guys. In your 30s, you thought that women were finally wisening up. No, women didn't mature. They just ran out of Don Juans. No matter what her age or relationship status, a woman will look at those guys and lust. Women indefinitely remain women. That's the big thing, right? This is what we call the epiphany stage, right? Where women, they run out of the Don Juans in their 20s, and now they're hitting their 30s. Their eggs are drying up. And so they're looking for a nice guy to settle down with, a guy that they're finally ready to marry now. And so they end up settling with some kind of beta male provider that doesn't really excite them. They're still thinking about, guys like Brad Pitt, or they're thinking about the guy that banged them out in back in the frat party at Delta Kappa Psi or whatever. I don't know. I was never in a frat. Right. But that's what she's thinking about. And then she's settled down with this guy. She pops out a couple of kids because she's always wanted kids, but she doesn't really like the dad. He's a good enough provider and stuff like that. But, then she ends up banging the pool boy and stuff like that. I had a guy on TikTok argue with me about how it's not hypergamy because women don't always move up, right? They're not always moving up in status and money when they're cheating on their husbands. I'm like, you're right, because it's alpha seed, beta need. So if she's with a guy that's already making a lot of money, but he's not making her sexually attracted to her, she's going to cheat on him with the pool boy who doesn't make enough as much money, but he's more sexually appealing to her. Do you understand? It's not always about trading up. Trading up monetarily anyway. Sometimes it's trading up with sexual attractiveness, right? Different value system. In ages past, women did not own their own sexuality. Their hair was hidden. They were fully clothed. This was because female sexuality was seen as powerful and controlling. So when
grape became the man's fault, more and more skin was revealed. A few men have fought back with embracing their own sexuality. 3 choices. 1, be powerless to female sexuality. 2, cover the women up to keep the peace of mind. Or 3, answer back with your own sexuality. They have chosen the 3rd choice now. Now, there is a problem with women graping men. Man, just not in this, but just look at our school system right now. Like how many, every month there's a new story of a teenage or of a female teacher graping some teenage boy. Isn't that crazy? And then there's a South Park episode going, nice. Anyway, usually this is done through fat women deliberately getting the guy drunk and taking advantage. A friend of mine was graped this way, but he refused to press charges because he didn't want it to become public. I almost was graped myself and have had female friends warn me that women will try to grape me. Since grape is now seen as the fault of the men, will women be seen as grapists themselves? Oh, this will drive feminists nuts. Man. In 3 words, I have summed up the appetite of history. We're probably not going to get to all these today, and that's okay. There's literally like 100 of these here, and I'll drop a link to it here in the chat. Like I said, you can read the Book of Pook for free at bookofpook.com. So we're on the chapter of aphorisms. Let me just skip down a little bit here. Do you guys agree with this one? Do you guys agree with this one? I think some people might object to this one, but Pook says that television is for women and losers. Television is for women and losers. Do you agree? Do you agree? I disagree. Although I have heard wealthy people say that while you're watching TV, you're watching other people get rich, right? While you're wasting time watching TV, you're watching other people get rich. You know, something to think about, but I don't think that occasionally taking a break and watching TV is bad for you. Just don't make that your whole life, right? Some guys look for a girlfriend as incentive for them to get a life, as someone to push them to get rich, and for someone to make themselves happy. These fools do not even know what women are. They think women are some kind of genie that grants them wishes such as wealth, popularity, and happiness. Now we know that the convoluted brain where such shows like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie came from. Yeah, women will never make you happy. Women will never be your peace, right? You have to, happiness and peace comes up here. It comes from your mental frame, right? Women are just along for the ride. They can't be your world. They can't be like, you have to bake a great cake of a life for yourself. They can never be the cake itself. They can only be the icing. I learned that from Dr. Robert Glover. Often a lady asks, if I get fat, my pookie wookie, will you still love me? And I reply, my dear, Aristotle defines love as founding friendship on beauty. If there is no beauty to base friendship on, then according to Aristotle, there can be no love. And what can she say to that? Yeah, lady, are you going to argue with Aristotle, bitch? Like, you can't just argue with Aristotle. Oh, that's funny. You know, one good way to answer that question, that's a shit test kind of question, right? It's also what's called a double bind. There's no answer that she'll accept from you. If you say, oh, no, honey, you don't look fat, she's going to be like, you're lying, and then be mad at you. If you say, yeah, honey, you've been putting on a few pounds, she's going to be mad that you're insensitive and then, yell at you, right? So it's basically a double bind situation. Now, Ryan Stone, and I think he has a good point here. Ryan Stone says, just tell her she's getting fat, right? And don't be afraid of her emotions, okay? She needs to hear it. She needs to hear it. So just say, yeah, you're getting a little chunky. Why don't you do something about that, right? And then she might get mad and throw a fit at you. And, as long as you don't let her emotions like impact you, it's going to be fine, right? But most guys are too scared of their girls' emotions to say anything like that. Another way that this could be handled, I learned from Coach Corey Wayne, is to basically sidestep the whole process anyway, and then say, you know what? I don't care about those jeans. I think those jeans would look better on my floor anyway. What would be really hot is watching you running naked on a treadmill, right? Basically,
encourage her through praise. And, he says the feminine grows through praise. So encourage her to work out, but work out naked on the treadmill. All right, let's do one more, or maybe a couple more short ones, and then we'll wrap up. There's literally hundreds of these, and it's not really important that we go through all of them. This one is probably one you've seen in Rollo's books. You've probably heard Rollo quote this a million times, but the surest way to make a woman unhappy is to give her everything she wants, right? The surest way to make a woman unhappy is to give her everything she wants. Let's see. Is there another short one that's good? Let's see here. It says, how do I judge a woman's character? I see how she treats people who can do nothing for her. This test has never failed me. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Watch how she treats other people that can't give her anything, right? If she's not getting anything from return, or anything in return from these people, if she still treats them with dignity and respect, she's probably a good-hearted woman, right? But if these guys can't give me anything, so she treats them like dirt, that tells you everything you need to know. That's a good one. I like that one. Let's see here. Women who complain of sexual harassment wish it would happen to them. Women who complain of sexual harassment wish it would happen to them. I tend to agree with that one. And let's see here. The nice guy desire to merge with a woman is partly a desire to lose himself. Ooh, that's deep. Think about that one. Erkin says, a woman can treat others nice and still ruin your life. True, if you let him. Let's see here. What a gem is a woman that can be alone, for she has a soul, a self, an essence itself. Many women, when alone, cease to exist. All right, let's just do one more and then we'll wrap up here. It is good for young men to read a post full of aphorisms. All right, we'll wrap it up here, guys. That's the Book of Pook. That's his chapter on aphorisms. We have 2 more chapters left to go in the Book of Pook, and they're both really short. Let me see what they are. They are endure and being a Don Juan. And so we will knock those out next week, and we will finally be done with the Book of Pook series. It is, I mean, I do recommend you guys go through and read the book yourself, right? It's pretty thick. If you guys don't like sitting down and reading a long book like this, get Jack Napier's audio version of it by becoming a member of Jack's channel. He did a very good, actually, you know what? Let me see if I could find it here. You can also just buy it on Gumroad too. Let's see here. Gumroad.com. Let's see here. Jack Napier, Book of Pook. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to drop a link to this here in the chat. You guys can get this for free if you join Jack's YouTube channel membership, but you can also just buy the Book of Pook here. He did a very good narration of it. How much is he charging here? I can't see. Let's see if I click purchase again. How much is he charging for it? Oh, he's charging quite a bit for it, but I mean, he did a lot of work on it. But if you like audiobooks, definitely get it. But like I said, you can get it for free if you go to Jack Napier Knows YouTube channel and become a channel member. And I think his membership's like what, $5 or something like that. He'll give you the Book of Pook for free on audio. But otherwise, you can get it on Amazon, by doing a search for the Book of Pook. It's Book of Pook Volume 1 on Amazon, or you can read it for free at bookofpook.com. What is Gumbro? A bookstore? No, Gumroad. Gumroad. It's a digital store platform. I have all my stuff on Gumroad too. It's just an easy platform. Put your courses on there, put books on there. You can get my ebook, my free ebook on She's Made You Weak. You can get that's all on Gumroad.
All right, guys. I hope you liked that episode. I hope that was fun for you. It was fun for me. Tune into the podcast on Wednesday for Woo Woo Wednesday. In the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read by Andrew Cap. Andrew, my good friend Andrew Cap, he explains a number of different scripting exercises you can do to get your subconscious mind in alignment with your goals. Okay. This is also NLP. Right. So if maybe you're not into the woo-woo mysticism, that is the law of attraction, that's fine. But neuro-linguistic programming is proven. Okay. So we're going to talk about different scripting exercises that will get you in alignment with your goals. So that should be fun. Talk about all the different scripting exercises you can do. We'll do that on Wednesday. And then that will make it more effective in helping you achieve your different goals in life, especially big goals that you don't even know how you're going to achieve it. You know, it's goals so big that when it happens, it'll blow your mind. That's what we're talking about. So tune into that on Wednesday. Other than that, do be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you for everyone that sounded off in the comments today. I appreciate you. Thanks to Brother Ed for sending that super chat. I don't see any more super chats here. If you guys send $10 super chats or $20 super chats, I do have the sexy blubs or the shaking booty video. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get my ebook, She's Made You Weak. It explains the betatization process. If you go to list.comeonmanpod.com, that'll redirect you to my Gumroad store where you can get that for free. Just put $0 and then hit buy now, and then you can get that. If you don't want the free stickers that I'll mail you, just put don't want stickers in the address field. Get my books, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 and Psychology Paradigm. You can go to books.comeonmanpod.com. That'll redirect you to my Amazon authors page where you can find all my books. You can find them on the Audible version of both of those as well. Get in Beer Club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's a good group of guys. That's only $10 a month. And guys are in there just absolutely changing their lives. We've got several guys in there that have lost considerable amounts of weight. Two of those guys, they basically cured themselves of type 2 diabetes. It's phenomenal to watch. We have one guy that came in the group less than a month ago. He was really having problems with his girlfriend. It was a long-term relationship type situation. And he didn't know what to do with it. He got in there and everyone's like, bro, dump her ass, right? Dump that bish, because long-term relationships are just glorified pen pals. And he took what we said to heart. He dumped that bish and he's already out spinning plates. And he was talking about his hookup over the weekend. It was pretty good. So like guys are changing their lives and improving themselves for the better. So check that out. And then if you guys want to work with me directly, go to call.fixeddeadbedrooms.com, book a free call with me. And if I can help you, I'll show you what that looks like. And if I can't, I will at least point you in the right direction. All right, guys, we will see you on Wednesday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. New full episodes served hot every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So subscribe now. Follow Paul on social media. The links are in the description. Now, go out and get it.